In today's video, we're going to tell you all about what to expect during the spring season here in Colorado Springs.
So spring is from March 19th until the beginning of summer, which is June 20th. Your average temperatures are about 50s to 60s. They can fluctuate a lot lower and typically don't get much higher than the 60s until you get into April, May, again, closer to that summer time frame.
Yeah, and the dates he mentioned for spring are the official dates for spring across the nation, but Colorado Springs doesn't really follow them. So when spring starts in March, we're still kind of more in winter than we are in spring. Things don't start blooming really until about April, May timeframe. And then that'll be mixed in with snow. So I remember specifically one year I got a new tree for our front yard because the previous tree had died. And we had it put in May, and then we got snow and the tree got ruined because it already had leaves on it. The snow fell on top of the leaves and it got too heavy for the tree and the top of the tree broke off. You'll have some spring days and it'll feel like spring, but then it'll be mixed in with a lot of winter days as well.
The earlier in the year, so January, February, March, you'll get some snowstorms. You'll get some of that fluffy snow just because it's so cold. Once you're in like April, May, those snowstorms are mixed with rain just because it's so warm. So the snow is really, really heavy. It turns into like heavy, nasty slush. That's where a lot of people get stuck in their vehicles. If you don't have the correct tires, you can get stuck in it. If your car is just not high enough, if you drive a sedan, you can kind of bottom out in that slush. And then you also get really cold days during those times, so that slush turns into big chunks of ice. So just be prepared for all of that.
One thing I will say is that there is no skiing or snowboarding in Colorado Springs. So a lot of people don't do enough research when they move to the area, and they're shocked by the fact that there's no skiing or snowboarding nearby. You do have to travel about 1.5 hours to 2 hours minimum to get to a ski or snowboarding hill. There's nothing here in Colorado Springs unless you just pick like a little hill and you ski down that. There's like no official slopes here in the spring. So if that's something you're looking to do, you do have to travel, and that is something that happens here in the springtime. So we do have a lot of people for their spring break. When their kids are on spring break, they do the most of their skiing and snowboarding up in the mountains because we do have some good snow still going in those months.
During the winter, you will typically blow out your sprinkler system, any water lines, and take care of the water lines that are exposed to the elements. A lot of people, once the spring comes, you'll have false spring, they call it. You'll get like about a week or two where it's nice and warm weather, high 60s, low 70s, and people will turn on their sprinkler lines and connect their hoses back to the spigots. Just be very aware of that because usually not until May, it doesn't warm up consistently enough where you can fill those lines with water. So if it does still freeze, it could still burst those lines. So be very aware of that.
If your plants and flowers start blooming, and we do have a snow in the forecast, keep some tarps or blankets or even old towels in your garage or your shed and just cover those plants before the snow rolls in, and you can oftentimes protect them that way from that spring snow that we get here in Colorado Springs.
And we do have a lot of outdoor events during the spring. They have a lot of festivals, farmers markets, art festivals, outdoor concerts. They also are building on the north end of town a big concert venue or event venue. It is completely outdoors though, so it'd be interesting to see how they mitigate the weather and how they do with that open venue.
Another thing that you can expect from Colorado Springs spring weather is allergies. We do have a ton of trees, plants, and just overall greenery. So with that comes a lot more pollen, and some people do suffer with allergies, and then coupled with altitude problems can sometimes lead to, issues that people are having. So if you're looking to move somewhere that doesn't have a lot of pollen and you suffer with allergies, you might want to reconsider because it might not be the best place for you. And that'll be it for what to expect for spring in Colorado Springs. And if you're looking to move to the area, we'd love to be a resource for you. So be sure to reach out if you have any questions or suggestions.